So the next big thing that was new to 2.0 is task acceptance. I'm logged in as Mary, and I decide I need to give John a task. Let me turn resource names on here for a second. So, I look down here and I'm talking to John. John's not here, and I say, well, once we're done approving this PowerBoard schematic, I really need John to provide me with an export of that PCB in MCAD format. And I'm Mary, doing this as Mary. So I'm logged in as Mary, and I say, let's create a successor. And I'll say export PCB power to MCAD format. And I really don't know how long it's going to take, but I know I'm going to need John to do that, and John's not here right now. So okay. So the key is you get a red flag next to that task. Okay, so I'm Mary, created this task for John. I'm going to go ahead and save, and I'm going to log in as John now and show you what that looks like. Okay, so log in as John. So when I log in as John, you'll see John has notifications. So you'll see notifications and how many notifications he has. So he could have new tasks, he could have change tasks, he could have reassigned tasks. Those will all be listed as notifications. New tasks have red flags, changed tasks have blue flags, and reassigned tasks, something that was one time assigned to a different resource now has been assigned to John, let's say, would also show up as new to John. So those would show up with a red flag. So you'll see under notifications it's going to show up as a reassigned task. So if I click on notifications, you see over here that there's this new task, export PCB power to MCAD format. It's in this project. It's criticalities displayed, life cycles displayed, what the duration and work are, currently. So if I click on review, it navigates to that task. There it is, right there. It navigates to it, highlights it, and John then can review it, and he can choose basically to either accept it or defer. So he can't decline it. He can go talk to the originator. So the originator is going to be in your hover over, created by Mary. You go talk to her and get clarification, understand what the details of the task are. And then if they don't agree and they decide it's not necessary, he'll just go in and delete it. But once he's decided to accept it, he could edit it. So by saying edit, he can change, duration, work, description, etc., all the information in the edit task dialog box or the window. And then you can say, I want to go ahead and accept that task. Okay? So by saying accept, and he could have more than one listed here. For every one, we'd have that same basic process to review and accept or defer those tasks. But if we say OK here, you'll notice that the notifications says 1, because we had two things in our notification box. I'm just trying to point this out, and there's nothing here. That's because currently we're in this project called XP2000, and we haven't gone to what was my debut, which is now my playbook. So those other tasks just aren't loaded. So you'll see that there's notification up here as far as how many unloaded tasks there are. If you click on the unloaded task, it's going to go load those tasks, load those projects, and then it's going to show you what those different tasks are. This other one's in a different project called Sustaining Engineering. I'm in XP2000. When I click on review, it's going to toggle over to Sustaining Engineering and show me the task. I can review the details, make my changes, accept or defer. Right? So the real big difference is as I save, make changes, let me just refresh here, that the flags should be automatically removed, and the people that created those tasks can see that you've accepted those tasks if they haven't already come to talk to you already. All right. Let's see here. Go back to Huddle, gameplay. Let me go back to XP 2000. So if I were just to create another task, let's say, and it should be the same for copy paste. If you do a copy paste, should get the same result. I say copy this task and apply it up here. There's another board. Need the same kind of information on this one. Oh, well, see, now I'm logged in as John. I'm logged in as John, and I just created a new task. So I won't get a flag because John created that task. So it's automatically going to accept John's own newly created task. There is another thing that I want to point out on this, and that is this auto acceptance area. If you're in a daily meeting, your morning meeting, or you're in a planning meeting, you can choose to automatically accept tasks for people that are at the meeting. So they don't have to go back and accept the task after the meeting. You know, they're participating in the planning session. You get their concurrence and their agreement, and as you create tasks, it just automatically accepts those tasks. You can also filter by acceptance. So if you wanted to just show the things that are new, if there are any, there aren't any. If you just wanted to filter and say, what are the things that are changed? So if you combine this with the resource filter, you could see just the things that are new or changed or reassigned for you, and get a list of those things here in the plan view as well. So I can see that somebody made a change to this task that Bob is the resource for. Bob didn't make it. Got changed by somebody else. So if I log out and save the changes, if I log out as John and log back in as Bob, again, I should have notifications. There's one for Bob, one for Sue. Something going on with this one, but I see that here's the notification that this task has changed. So you can see it was changed, it was created by a cure, but right now the only way to identify who made that change is by using the audit trail at the moment. So the original created by doesn't change when somebody changes the task. It only captures who created that task originally. Okay, so again, make changes, accept, defer. You know, maybe that should be 16 days. He can update it, accept it. Okay, it's no longer changed, so it no longer shows. And he's updated to show that he's accepted that task. Let's see. Other than that, there's a few minor changes to the names of some of the filters. Summary, this doesn't have the word summary task. So we consolidated the names of things to make room for additional options up here, you know, basically. So type of tasks, the resource lists, the type of life cycles, etc. All right, let's see. Let me just take a quick check and see if there's anything else that I wanted to point out. Oh, yes. Okay, if you have, so here I have a summary task, and that summary task could have a dependency. I could make it a predecessor to some other task. So if I link this to some other task, it now turns yellow. So when a summary task is yellow or pink or orange, it means it itself is now related to another summary to another task. That the summary task is a predecessor to another task. And in general, that's just not the best practice. best practice is to create dependencies from tasks that are within that summary task to other types of tasks, but not the summary task itself. And part of the reason for that is it makes it less flexible. You basically need to go through and complete all the tasks within the summary task and then complete the summary task and say everything in that summary task is done in order to accomplish this, or in order to initiate that next task, whatever that might be. So now if it's gray, if the summary task is gray, doesn't have a dependency to anything else. If it's yellow or pink or orange, it means it's got a dependency to another task. Okay, so I'll just remove that and it turns back to gray. All right, another big one, seems like a big one, but create a new task and it's a summary task, and I'll just call it test. Summary task. Okay, what couldn't you do with that in the past, that summary task? You couldn't move it horizontally. Yay! So you can now drag summary tasks horizontally left and right without having to do anything different. And lastly, if you're copy pasting, let's see, I'm logged in as Bob. I take a task for Ken and I make a paste of it. Another thing that's new is it used to be that when you had a window open like this, you couldn't do anything in the background. You couldn't scroll, you couldn't pan around and look around while this was open. You had to close it. So now you have access to all the background graphics, and you can go review things and have a look at other things while this is open. Okay. And that's new task for Ken. It's a copy paste, but it's a brand new task for Ken. All right. And then the split screen of the My Playbook view. Kind of last but not least, open the game plan. If you pick on one task, this navigates to that task in that project. Sustaining engineering, if I pick on a different task in a different project, it just automatically switches to that project, navigates directly to that task. All right, so bang on the dot, 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock? Yep. Do you have any questions? No questions? Okay. So I guess for Rich and Russ at ONEOK, let me mute you, Rich. For you guys, are you ready for us to go ahead and load, say, the next build of 2.0 so that you've got some time to play with it in the course of the next month?
Yeah, you can go ahead and push that out, Paul.
Okay. And for ComEd, we were planning on doing the same, putting the new build on the ComEd site later this evening as well. Is that okay?
I think that's okay, Paul.
Okay. All right. Well, if you don't have any more questions or any questions, thanks for your time, and let us know what you think.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you both.